Grand National
National Championships.
Hello. You're listening to Grand National Championships on the internet. My name is Alistair. With me tonight, we have Corin.
Hello.
We have Jotham.
Hello.
And we have Jared.
Hi.
If you have anything you'd like to impart to us about the program or just about anything, we can do our best. Remember we used to do a homework helpline on the radio? We got a couple call-ins on that.
Ooh, I need some homework help.
Feel like we didn't
We're
help.
here for you, buddy.
We didn't help a lot of people.
Speak for yourself.
If you have homework you need help with, the email address here, us@thegncshow.com, can be utilized. You can find us on social media at The GNC Show. Visit thegncshow.com for lots of pieces of show-related information, and you can leave us a voicemail at 727-379-4335, which spells paper wheel on your alphanumeric keypad. So we do have a guest coming up later in the program.
Off to a rocky start.
How so?
Just a little bit of lag.
Oh, you know what I was trying to do seamlessly is I realized my computer had slipped off of the 5G, so I was trying to go from the standard to the 5G, because normally all it does is bring up a little like, your connection is unstable, but everything actually gets better. That has not happened yet. Oh, I think it just did. Yeah.
All right. Oh,
I heard it was alphanumeric.
Oh, nice. I don't think that'll be noticeable on the final product, but
that's too bad. It was really funny.
Yeah, the best jokes are just the weird noises that the computer makes us do.
Yep, it is better than anything we produce.
That's a bummer to think about. Well, Corin, here's your chance to turn that around. Why don't you tell us what you've been up to lately?
Yeah, not a whole lot, man.
New angle.
New angle, you like that?
See the door.
Square to the front door.
I'm facing... Which direction am I facing? East? I'm facing east now.
You're facing east, the camera's facing west?
Correct. Yeah. When we started recording in this house, when I moved here, I was facing northeast. Then I was facing south. Now I'm facing east.
Yeah. South is the one with the book. There's a bookcase to your left, right?
Correct.
Okay.
I imagine like right across the street is just a cliff that goes straight down into the water.
It's beautiful out there.
It's beautiful.
He has to hike up every day.
Yeah.
Get one of them hikes in.
Yeah, 2,600 feet.
When all the ships would hike up to port. Like
you should get one of these hats. It helps my hikes.
North Face.
Oh, man. You got to get the Patagucci.
Patagucci. I didn't know you had special names for it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's like, all the fancy hiking people out here at Patagonia. Then you have like the step down is like Columbia, then North Face, then...
This is for people that don't actually do outdoor stuff.
Well,
right.
Maybe without the elevation.
And then, then
I do. But...
Then there's the Florida brand, right? You have the Salt Life.
Oh.
That's like Florida outdoors stuff.
They sell
a lot of Salt Life out there.
Hip waders.
No, that does not exist here.
I work with this guy who has a bumper sticker on his car that says Salt Flats Mafia. I didn't know he was a member of the Mafia.
Wait, Salt Flats, is that like Utah?
No, wait, maybe I made that up. It says Mafia for sure.
Maybe it said Salt.
Maybe it just says Flats Mafia. Flats Mafia.
Flats.
So
that's different.
Or certain types of bread.
Fishing.
Oh,
certain types of bread. Yeah. Really into tortillas.
Yeah, I'm into pita. I'm into
paninis.
Yeah, freaking. Yeah, that's how it is in the Flats Mafia.
Yeah, it's nice. They're international. He's a mafia of the world.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like all the mafia
fry
people
bread
like
for the natives.
standing together,
Pizza.
like holding hands.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Make it a better place.
Flatbread Mafia. All right.
Sick.
Speaking of the mafia, Alistair, I like your shirt.
Oh, thank you very much. It suggests that you leave the gun.
Leave the gun.
Take the
Cannoli.
Oh,
Nice.
Grammatically incorrect, but okay.
No, he had more than one cannoli.
Oh,
Cannolo. He ate cannoli.
there was a whole basket of cannoli.
it was a small box. You
Small
see
box.
it at one point, don't you?
I think so.
I don't know.
I feel like they have a small box. Well, it's not just a loose cannolo.
I love
floating around in the car.
I love the way this has twisted up our minds. Yeah, you wouldn't. Yeah, Paulie was just holding them in his
juggling one.
pockets.
They went to a nice little corner market. They got it in a nice little box, and they kill a guy.
Sick.
It's pretty sick.
It is sick. The idea.
I haven't
of
seen
murder.
that movie in a long time.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been weeks. I know how you feel. I told you the Godfather Minute is now doing Godfather Part 2, right?
Yeah.
Second week comes out.
I'm really
in a
excited
few
about
days.
that other podcast.
Hey, I got to be excited about some podcast.
It's not this one. I know. What else has been going on? Oh,
Yeah,
speaking
besides
of
you
crazy,
orienteering in your own living room. First I
There's not
faced
a
south,
lot.
then I was northwest.
life's pretty sparse these days. I work a lot, and that's it. And I don't go outside much. Speaking of going outside, though, the Tampa Football Club won the big game in Tampa, and it's been insane watching the things happen from 3,000 miles away.
Yeah, it looks like
Yeah, I was enjoying watching the boat parade today. I saw people zoom because I work on the water, so I saw people zooming up and down. But
Drunk?
did you see Tom Brady?
Yeah.
I assume so.
Drunk
Tossed
Tom Brady is my favorite thing.
He was so drunk, he had to get walked off.
I didn't see
I mean,
it.
like he had
Yeah.
help, like someone assisting him, not
I
like
heard
holding him up.
something
Yeah.
about. Did he toss the Vince Lombardi,
Lombardi.
trophy from
Yes,
one boat to another?
To another boat. I saw it from two different angles.
Really?
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was really
Yeah.
questioning like Tom Brady's move from New England down to Tampa Bay.
He's fitting in just
he
fine.
is
He's
a local
embracing it, yeah.
immediately.
Can't
He's out
argue
there
with
drunk
that.
on boats, throwing around.
I saw guys do backflips off the bridge. I don't know which bridge that is. Maybe it's over Cypress, one of the downtown bridges. But they just did there were so many boats. I mean, it's just a sea of boats, and they just looked around and then did backflips from 2-3 stories up.
That sounds
Yeah.
unsafe.
All of it was unsafe.
It doesn't sound
whole
like
thing.
like the
Yeah.
the
whole
drunk
event.
city dwellers that I know.
Okay.
I added a lot with that sentence. Huh? Hey guys, I saw some of it too, so I'm over here.
I did notice one thing I've noticed about this is that I feel like Florida is like a shitty relative of mine, where like to people around here, I talk shit about Florida all the time, but if they do it, like I'm immediately like defending it. And well, it's not always like that. There's some good stuff too. Don't focus on the bad.
Like for instance, have you seen any footage of this guy doing backflips, super wasted?
At 2 p.m. on a Wednesday.
Have you heard of the Salt Life Mafia?
They're really
flat
into bread
mafia?
for some reason.
Who knows?
It's a Florida thing. Don't try to understand it. Oh,
Pub subs and salt flats mafia.
Ooh, I saw a great pub sub hack today. Let me tell you, gentlemen. So
Okay.
you can order,
Wait,
White Mountain bread.
wait. I have to take a step back. I know for a fact that there are people who don't live in Florida who listen to this show. So take it from the
All right.
top. Like, what is a pub sub?
So a pub sub is a sub from Publix, and you can get whatever sub you want. But they pile them high. You're very full after. It'll feed a grown man. But the hack is you can order White Mountain bread. So White Mountain bread, it's like a loaf, and No.
No, I'm not familiar with White Mountain Bread.
White Mountain Bread. It's just like a round piece of bread. It's white. It's nice. It's got a nice crust on it. But it's not like a long sub roll. It's like
round.
stout.
That's what I
It's
used
just
to make.
very
The,
round.
But you can make a sub in that?
I make grilled cheese on it. Yeah, I buy them for that.
Now I remember.
So, or the blat that I posted in the sandwich group was on that kind of bread. So you can order. They don't have this at the deli, but you can say, I want it on White Mountain Bread. They'll go over to the bakery, and right from the middle of the loaf, they'll pull like the biggest pieces of bread, and they end up making you 2 sandwiches and cut both sandwiches in half because that's how much bread would be like on the other subs.
What the fuck kind of animal style off menu shit is this? They just know to make 2 sandwiches and to do all this extra stuff.
I saw a girl on TikTok do it.
They must hate that
She had
girl
all
on
sorts
TikTok.
of hacks.
Sure
all
she didn't
sorts
have,
of
like-
Publix hacks.
She wasn't didn't have help on the inside.
I think she maybe worked there. I don't know. It was TikTok through BuzzFeed. Also, you can you can go in there and be like, yo, I want to get some of them shrimp boiled. What kind of seasonings do you have? And they'll show you seasonings and they'll just boil the shrimp. You can walk around the store eating a few shrimps, which I want to try.
Wait a second.
Where is there shrimp to be boiled?
To get them
I
to
feel
boil
like-
you a couple shrimp.
I feel like now you're just saying hacks that are kind of just like shoplifting. You're like, here's a hack. You ever
gonna
eaten
pay
all the
for
grapes
it.
while you're walking around?
Now, actually, funny story. I actually did that, but I didn't.
I have been arrested stealing.
When I went to, you guys know I went to rehab, and when I got there, I was still in a haze from detox, and apparently, I was with one of the behavioral health techs who was monitoring you, like making sure you're not picking up beer or buying margarita pizzas because that's triggering or whatever. So I'm walking around with these grapes and I'm eating them, and he keeps telling me not to do that because they weigh them, but I just wasn't comprehending. So anytime I see this guy, he still reminds me that I just was
Grape
stoned
thief.
eating grapes. So yeah, grape thief basically.
Yeah, that's
Don't do that.
I remember working at a grocery store for many years, and they would admonish the employees against that type of activity, calling it shrinkage. They call the loss of merchandise shrinkage, and I feel like it wasn't quite as harshly enforced on customers, maybe because they didn't lose nearly as much money as they did to employees who would just eat all the food in the store.
Who they were paying to steal.
Yeah. Maybe we should go after the people that were paying to steal first, and then the people who were paying us to steal afterward.
Right. Plus, whenever you call it shrinkage, it takes away from the severity of the crime.
Doesn't make it seem like a big deal at all. Shrinkage? No. Yeah, give me 2 bunches of grapes. That's cute.
Spillage, or the waste log. That's what they have in restaurants.
A waste log.
Waste log.
That's what you named your DJ night, right?
Yeah, that's what it was after.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
DJ Rumham in the house.
In the house.
Oh my goodness.
Would you
That's a
sometimes
very good
spin
name.
Watch
all...
out, Diplo.
Would you... Oh, wait, maybe we'll talk about him tonight with our guest. Did you... Waste log. Oh, did you spin all 7 inches? Were there times when you did all 7-inch nights?
No, I mean it was a lot of 7 inches, but 12-inch. I like my long jams. So
Side 1, track 1.
Marquee Moon. That was you can't go wrong with that. What
That
are the long
19 minute off A&E, the spiritualized song.
Yeah, that's a good one. Probably want a little higher energy for that night, but Velvet Underground, White Light, White Heat.
Yeah. Bring up the energy with some heroin rock.
Yeah, shooting up meth. White Light.
Corin, did you finish telling us about your week?
I think that was it.
Oh,
I went to the hardware store.
They have rugs
It
there.
was kind.
Pal.
What's that?
They have rugs there.
They do, but that's not why I went there. I went there for some plant fixins and a stud finder. And then I did the funny thing where I put it on me and I made it beep. And yeah, I feel like
Sent that vid to a few ladies.
Yeah. Yeah. And I told it here, so ladies.
Get at me.
I went to a Home Depot recently, to the garden center. Did I tell you about this for some supplies for a photo shoot at my work?
Yeah, some seeds.
Had to get some seeds, had to get some soil, a little plant that I'm still taking care of to this day. His name is Bobby Bell Pepper.
Oh, wait. Can you see all the plants back there?
You got way more than I do. I've got one. His name is Bobby Bell Pepper. You have so many, I bet they don't all have names.
None of them do.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I also have a big fat dog that does have a name.
pig.
Yeah. When you have a dog, there's like a hierarchy. You no longer need to name your plants. I don't know why. That's just the way it is.
Some
That's what
things
that
will
song's
never
about.
change.
Right. I don't know about you, but going to the hardware store makes me feel like a big adult man, and I feel powerful.
Yeah, I haven't gotten there yet. If I walk in, I feel lost and like a fraud that I'm gonna be found out immediately that I can't tell the screwdrivers apart or whatever. I can
Right.
do that, but you know,
I
the most
Yeah,
basic needs. I don't know.
Go ahead, Corin.
I guess it's while I'm there, I'm intimidated and feel inferior, and then when I leave with all of my big man stuff, I feel better.
Superior.
Yeah.
I was in the garden center, so I wasn't being intimidated by tools, but I was being intimidated by plants. I didn't know. Well, and the thing is, I was getting just kind of a disparate collection of things, just like a single pot and a single little tray thing underneath, and a plant and some potting soil and some like a one square of grass, a sod.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, getting that sod. So I thought, like, does this like look like I'm just buying things to take pictures of them? Like, I felt like that may have made me like that. Made me feel
Everybody knew.
less of a man. They were
They're
like,
on you.
Checking out.
that's not the kind of soil you would use on a bell pepper. What a
Obviously
dickhead.
not using it correctly.
So, I mean, even in the garden center where you'd think things would be way easier, there's still a lot of social pressure, is what I'm saying. So, Jotham.
Not at all imagined.
Yeah, this shit is real. Jotham, to what have you been up?
Well, I also learned the Publix fried chicken secret. You guys want to know?
Yeah, hack it.
All right. So you brine them overnight. Okay.
Overnight.
Then you put them in flour with whatever seasonings you want. Then you dip it in the flour. Then you dip it in water, pull it out, then dip it in flour again.
I just want to
Then
tell you
fry it.
this. I thought you were saying things you could do when you buy Publix prepared fried chicken. I was like, then you dip it in water? You're talking about how to
make your own, bud.
how to
You
simulate
just described making fried chicken.
Yes, I did. The Publix way.
the Publix way.
I mean,
Everyone knows about Publix fried chicken here.
it's good, but I mean, like, that's how you make fried chicken.
Do you dip yours in water, Jared?
No, you dip it in
Egg wash?
milk.
Yeah,
Or-
they said
or egg
no
wash.
eggs, absolutely no eggs. This is the Publix secret. Now,
Sounds
there's
like-
many ways to fry a chicken, but this is the Publix way.
Sounds like Jared doesn't know the Publix way.
Come over, I'll
Fuck
make you
about
some.
the Publix way.
I haven't
Fighting
made
against
yet,
it.
but-
Or buttermilk, right? That's what buttermilk fried chicken is, right? That's you dip it.
You know what?
I don't know.
I'm not going to say that was a great hack, but I could listen to these public hacks from Jotham for 4 hours straight.
There's one more. There's a bakery one, and I can't remember what it is.
Oh, come on.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
Oh.
So you're walking around the bakery, and you're looking at the cookies. Okay,
Yeah.
they got a 24 pack of chocolate chips, and you're like, man, those chocolate chips look good. But then you look over there, and they got a 24 pack of peanut butter, and you're like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? You say, hey, Mr. Bakery Man, could you please split these and put them together? And they'll give you 12 chocolate chip and 12 peanut butter, and then you go on your merry way.
Yeah, I think the problem with all of these is that they require me to interact with a Publix employee.
Yeah.
I will do this all day.
Yeah, that's where
Please,
you and I
can you boil
differ.
free shrimp for me?
Get
The
shrimp
biggest you have.
Get the shrimp and the peanut butter cookies and chocolate chip cookies ready. Fried chicken, hide it.
Could you
can't-
boil a pound of catfish? I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Could you leave your station, go to the other guy's station, come back and cook me something special?
Yeah, I can't imagine being the type of person who would request 3 shrimp to be boiled just for me.
Well, that's silly,
I
but
feel like you have a reputation at this Publix that you go to.
they see me coming.
Here's that guy in the jean
coming.
jacket and the North Face hat.
pictures hanging up there.
He keeps asking me to be on his podcast.
Trying to get the Publix manager.
Tell us about what it's like to boil shrimp for me.
All the hacks.
Yeah, you can't crack open the secrets.
There's got to be more.
What'd you say, Jared?
Crack open the secrets.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you stopped mid-sentence. Well, so is that all you've been up to, Jotham? Just that Publix hacks?
Yeah, I watched a TikTok today, so that's pretty much it.
All right.
Sweet.
What else? Oh, we talked about offline. I really like the weekend Super Bowl show. Thought that
It
was
was
great.
fun.
Funny thing, I had texted you guys like I was very proud of myself for noticing the sample in the middle of the show, and I tell Maddie all about it, and it's funny because no one cares. I think it's so cool, and then I realized no one gives a shit at all.
I mean,
But,
I've seen it.
you know.
I've seen it come up. I saw it definitely come up in like some WMNF people's. Someone was like, "Hey, just saw the weekend. That was lots of fun." Like 7 people underneath. Did you know that's a Susie in the Mansion? Did you know Susie in the Mansion? So, like, everyone definitely wanted people to know that they recognized it in that
Right.
forum.
Mm-hmm.
So I just tried to play it cool, and also I didn't recognize
But
it or know the original
it's
song.
like anything else. So we're watching a movie and some obscure song comes on. I'm like, oh, did you know it's actually that? No one cares.
And so
No one cares that you can pick out the song.
does
I was saying the Fast and the Furious, but those are like super big songs.
does Maddie smile at you and then
Did
pause
you know that was
and
DMX?
rewind the movie?
She's very polite about it. Yeah. She listened to me explain who Sushi and the Banshees were, and then she listened to the first like 20 seconds of each song. She's like, wow, that's very similar.
Oh, man.
Don't give this girl up.
She is such a sweet lady.
Yeah.
So did that.
The good doctor. When's the doctor going to join us on the show, by the way?
Oh, the doctor is going to join us at some point. She's very busy right now because in addition to having her high pressure government-y type job, she's now in school auditing classes because one of her bosses is teaching a class. So she's just doing school because they want her to be a part of it. So
Hardcore.
yeah, it's pretty hardcore. Did you guys see Phoebe Bridgers on SNL?
Yeah. With the everybody got really involved in that whole guitar smashing thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. David Crosby
had something to say about it. Oh man, I bet it was a very vital
he was
take.
like, yeah, he was basically like, guitars should be respected.
Oh, he was the one who like first. I heard people talking
And
about
he posted
that
pictures
argument.
of acoustic guitars. Yeah, I don't know. It was pretty lame. Pretty lame.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. What are you gonna do? Jesus
Did you see
Christ.
that monitor bounce though? That fake monitor.
Yeah, they put like pretend sparks.
Dan
in it.
Electrum, yeah, fake sparks.
Well, they were real
Pretty
sparks, but
bad
they had
pair.
nothing to do with what was happening.
Well, sure. That's not something I did this week, but I did see a clip of it. I'm really grasping for stuff to talk about. I don't know. Do you guys have any questions? I got a new jean jacket today.
Yeah, what's the deal with that? It's a darker jean jacket, huh?
It's a darker jean jacket. It's a black wash. And it made me think of a time in my life where I thought I could pull off a leather jacket. And I don't think there's ever going to be a point in my life where I could ever pull off a leather jacket.
I feel like you could have, like when you were a real degenerate.
Right, that was the time in my life, but
it's gone.
Not anymore. Yeah, I just don't think I'm a leather jacket guy.
That's okay.
I feel
man.
good in the jean jacket.
Yeah.
I think as you get older, a leather jacket gets weirder. So
Yeah.
leave that alone. I'm trying to think of an old guy in a leather jacket that's okay.
It would have to be like David Johansen or something. You'd have to be kind of like a skinny, effeminate
if you're
rock
smoking
star.
a cigarette at the same time, it looks natural.
I don't know. If I smoked a cigarette and wore a leather jacket,
I just end up with
punch me.
Well,
a hole in my
right,
jacket.
You're right.
Just when I smoke a cigarette and wear anything, it just gets a hole in it. Well, Jared, I feel like the Jotham train is running out of steam.
There's no steam left. Go. Keep moving.
Jared, to what have
A little further down the line.
What have you been up to? How you doing?
Not a whole lot. My brother and lovely sister-in-law and puppy came into town this weekend to stay with me. Cole. To, take part in the Super Bowl festivities. We went and walked around the Riverwalk and saw the things that were down there by Armature Works. And
The experience.
yeah. They had like people running drills out there, which was kind of funny. Like people were like waiting in line to
Run the 40.
to do certain drills.
I like the
What do
idea
you
of
mean
people waiting
drills?
to just run.
Yeah,
Not kick a field goal. Drills like football practice drills, like
Yeah.
or like wind sprints. But the
jumping
idea
over things.
the idea
yeah.
of waiting in line to just run, it's like you could just run over there if you want. Like, but this is the only place that has tires that you can
People
like
just
go.
kind of like half-heartedly clap for you. Like, yeah, you did it at the end.
Did you participate, Jared?
I did not.
Yeah, what was your time? 4:40.
Yeah.
I didn't
You still got the wheels.
No. And then we watched the game, and my brother was super excited about it, and I got caught up in the hysteria.
Are
When
you
they
s-
won, we were.
Are you saying you turned over a cop car?
Yes.
Were you the guy that climbed up on the Kennedy sign?
Did you do a backflip into the street?
Did you see you saw the streaker, right? Did you read the story like
Oh,
behind the streaker?
yeah.
No.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
So supposedly he bet $50,000. Yeah, that somebody would get out into the field and run around. He had a guy run interference for him, so he was like a decoy, and then he got out on the field, and he ended up making somewhere in the neighborhood of like $374,000 on the bet.
In the neighborhood.
Because it was minus his bail.
374.
It was minus his bail.
Minus his bail,
375.
yeah.
Minus the bail.
Which was like $1,000.
That's just a drop in the bucket
So you think
compared to
like,
the fame.
so since this guy did this, do you think maybe it's going to trigger some other daring behaviors where somebody's going to place a bet and then do something like
It's the
wild
first-
and crazy
Well,
dangerous?
they bet on everything. I was watching the Super Bowl differently after watching a sports betting documentary earlier this year and seeing like what people really bet on, and it like literally the entire game is you could bet on any part of it. You know, like
Yeah, coin toss, first penalty,
all of it. Yeah,
color of socks that the coach is wearing.
Gatorade, whatever. Yeah.
But I feel like the streakers have been around for forever. It's the oldest profession. And but I think maybe this is the first story I've heard of someone specifically manipulating the system to do it for a financial windfall. So maybe
That
you're onto
we
something
know
there.
of.
That we know
Yeah,
of.
he wore a.
What was Morgana the kissing bandit up to behind the scenes?
He was affiliated with some like porn website. That was what on the pink thing that he was wearing, like a leotard thing. And either his ex-girlfriend or some girl that he knew wore the same thing when she streaked, or like the same logo a few years before at a soccer match. So it was like porn advertising too.
That's good. He's got a lot of eggs in his basket.
Sure.
I just remember it happening during the broadcast. You saw one brief clip and then they cut away and went right to commercial and nobody said anything about it. I was like, I think somebody's on the, and then it was gone. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely didn't even notice that. Not
That's-
until the next day.
That's like the top deterrent, though, right? Is not to give them the national attention.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
So that's been it mainly for you.
And I've just been off work this week because tomorrow's my birthday. Just been
Yeah.
relaxing. And doing my
29
thing.
again.
Yes.
For the
You know.
13th time.
Hey.
12th
girls?
time.
What are you gonna do tomorrow? You gonna do something?
I'm gonna play D&D with y'all.
Fucking A.
We got a message today from our brave DM that he was making maps.
Yep.
We got some
Sketching
map in
out a
progress.
continent.
I might step out Friday night.
What's up?
For a
Night in the
drinky
town.
Ooh, Joe Jackson style.
Yeah. Just like Joe Jackson.
No.
Don't forget your leather jacket.
That's cool. What are you gonna do? Where you gonna go?
I don't know.
Oh, all right.
I
Shit.
just figured I would go.
Right
I
on,
want to go
man.
somewhere
Yeah.
with me.
Huh. I gotta think about that. Where would we go? Do you guys all want to go to Portland?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
Nothing's
be there by
open.
Friday.
You're not allowed to do anything.
Your
Come on
house
over.
is.
Yeah.
I've
that's
heard
right.
you've got a
true.
north,
Place
a
to sit.
south, an east, a northeast, a north west, And
You got a gym and a TV, which is all I do. So
Yeah, you can come do those things with me.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, that was my proposition to Jotham.
yes, I'll be there.
I like the look you gave him too. That was great.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a message from our guest that they'll be joining us shortly. That's very exciting.
That is exciting.
I'll tell you what I'm up to
So
lately.
exciting.
I'm just being so tired all the time.
Yeah.
I've just been busy with work of late, working long hours, but feeling good, getting stuff done, doing meetings, doing other things, taking pictures and such. Fun times. So I don't know if anything too exciting has happened to me. Our youngest, Clara, now wears glasses.
Ooh.
And
It's a
that
big
seeing
step.
Clara in glasses may or may not have made me cry, and it's none of your business if it did. It's just that, you notice that she's getting older, and then,
How's
So
she
that-
taking the glasses though?
Oh, she loves them. She wears them all the
Okay.
time, and I think maybe she hadn't been able to realize like that she really needed them. So I think she's super jazzed that she's seeing things better than ever.
That is nice.
And I'll test her sometimes. I'll just fling my keys at her. She's like, "They working?" And she'll catch them.
You faking it?
Yeah. I should have clarified. She's not pretending to be blind. It's like, don't worry, I'll find out if this is for real. No, Jared, no. All of a sudden, it's Jared coming over to the house
With his
test.
paintball gun.
It's a marker, by the way. It's called a marker.
Marker, yes.
Pardon me.
I also, let me right quick do a little bit of viewer mail. Is that okay?
Oh, sure.
It's from our old familiar T-Watt75, who wanted to let us know I was half Windsor forever. A few years ago, realized the full Windsor was such a small effort difference, certainly not twice as much.
Oh.
The juice was worth the squeeze, which is a good saying.
Ooh.
My dimple game is questionable. I might put on a tie 3 times a year or so. Now, this is a reference that I don't know if I remember this from the show last week before last. It says, and it is quantitative, in quotes. Also, I believe, did the word
Scoville.
quantitative come up?
Scoville.
Yeah. Jotham kind of like
Messed up
squished
the word quantitative.
quantitative into like half of that.
Oh.
It
What
was
did I
like
say?
quantitative or something.
Hey,
It was
I
very
don't
funny.
remember that.
We do it all the time. I do it
T-Watt.
constantly.
T-Watt, take it easy. We're all doing our best here with the pronunciation. Also, I believe Jesus whispered "snitches get stitches" in Judas's ear before he was hauled off. Pretty sure that's right. Possibly apocrypha. God damn it! Now he's going to send another one to tell me how to say that. Compression shorts under the 11-inch shorts. Good boxer brief will almost get you there. And lastly,
Almost get you there.
Justin, referring to our old friend Justin Grimshaw,
Where?
absolutely asked if I knew anyone who wanted to buy an AK-47 while we were doing the band thing. Drummer / arms dealer is absolutely how I remember him. Good peeps.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad I'm glad I didn't make that up.
Oh no, yeah, you didn't.
Sometimes
you
I
didn't make
remember
that up.
things and I question whether it was reality or not.
Certainly. Do you guys want to take a brief break? And I'm just going to see if I can confirm our guest's arrival.
Yeah.
So
sounds
we'll
good.
be
Okay.
right back in just a minute. Hello. We're back here on Grand National Championships, and we are joined by our very first repeat guest. Am I right?
That's right.
It's
Yeah.
one of our favorites that we've had on the show, and he's been making a little bit of noise lately. You might have read about him in recent journalistic endeavors. It's Yago Annex, Prince Midnight. How do you do?
Doing great. How you guys doing?
Not too
Good,
bad. Yago, I do want to give my condolences briefly. Nosferatu, your beautiful stag beetle, passed away, and we're all very sad to have heard that.
Rest in power.
Yeah. You know, I got that beetle grub from a website called like Bugs in Cyberspace like a year and a half ago. And I raised the thing from when it was a tiny grub, like stage 1 grub. And it sounds silly, but like I literally sat next to this grub every day for like a good year and a half. And like it would need water, I'd give it water, I'd see it ate all its like rotten wood. And then one day it was around when it got a little colder, and I'm just, you know, you beat yourself up. What could you have done different? But one day he was just cold as ice, just laying on the top of the dirt. And I was hoping he was in some kind of like pupal phase, but he was not. He was dead. So I waited a while, and then just in case I was wrong that he was pupating, I gave him a proper burial in the backyard. And if he truly was pupating, it'd be weird that he did it on the surface because they usually do it underground. But just in case, you know, I didn't like, you know, kick him back with a shot of tequila or anything, you know.
I guess it's good that you didn't swallow him whole. Yeah. But yeah, that is nice that if for some reason he was just in an unusual pupal state, that he has a chance to rise like Phoenix from the ashes.
You gave him an option.
Yeah, because you know, I'm not a bug expert. It was my first bug pet. I had a praying mantis when I was a little kid, but that was like when I was like 7. But
How
I
long
have to
do
say-
they stay grubs? Over a year?
dude, they stay like this is an Eastern Hercules beetle, and it could be like 2 hours or 2 years. There's some beetles, so like some is just like 6 months, and some of them are years. And we talked last time a little bit. I got pretty deep into the beetle scene, you know, as much as you can be. I'm being serious.
Yeah.
We know.
But,
We're all listening completely seriously, and
You have our attention.
Yeah, and I understand the connection that you can have to a beetle. I mean, a pet is a pet. You know, if this is a little creature that you helped raise, I can understand how how you can have an attachment to something that someone else might see as just something kind of scary and unusual. Like to you, that's your pet.
it was my pet, and I respected it, and I didn't pick it up a lot because I was always worried I'd have a contamination on my hands. Man, the wood I got for it, I went deep in the forest to make sure it wasn't sprayed with any chemicals or anything. Yeah. Then I put it in the oven for like an hour on low heat to kill any parasites that might be living in the wood.
Just
No, the
just
wood.
350
Okay.
per hour.
Gotcha.
Not the grub.
Gotcha.
Not the grub. The grub will last about 1 second in the oven. But yeah, man, I really, it
Science.
sounds crazy, but I spent a lot of time, and, I could joke about it, but yeah, I was like legitimately down about that for a couple of days. So I didn't take his cage out of my office or whatever you want to call it for probably a week or two. It just sat in there.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah, we're certainly not making light of it. I
get it. I have some unusual interests, so I get it, man. But, I don't take any disrespect.
Funny that you mention unusual interests. You happen to be holding a guitar made of unusual materials, and this guitar has gotten it's caught the world's attention. Could you tell us a little bit about the guitar that you're holding?
So there's a lot of aspects of the guitar. There's the story of the man that this skeleton belonged to. There's a story of building the guitar. Where do you want to start, Alistair?
Well, let's talk about the man who was the skeleton that is that guitar.
Okay. So, yeah, because all these parts of the story can get a little bit convoluted. So
I can't imagine that's true. Just kidding.
when I was young, my mother's younger brother, Philip, with an F, he was super into metal. He was in local bands, and I was a really little kid, and I'd asked to go see him play. He played, like 90s style, like death metal, because we were, in the Tampa area. That was real big. So I went to go see with him, like Cannibal Corpse, Deicide, Obituary, Reversal of Man,
what was his band's name?
Metal bands. What
was his band's name?
I don't even remember what they're called. It was like Dark Lust or something. I don't remember.
That's a pretty good name.
I'm just guessing.
It was Dog Star.
Look that up. I was like 10 or something, and he was in like a different band every weekend. It wasn't like he was in, and he played in like some cover bands and stuff. So it's kind of forgettable. He has no releases to look back on or anything. I have like one picture of him in a bar playing guitar. So he has a Moonspell shirt on, so that's pretty sweet if you listen to metal. But anyways, so this is my mother's younger brother, and he was super into metal, got me into metal, took me to a bunch of shows at the Brass Mug and all those joints. And so super inspirational to me. I started playing heavy metal music, listening to heavy metal. And then he died when I was really young. And he died in Greece in a motor vehicle accident. And he donated his body to science, which is a similar process over here. Over there in Greece, there's a lot of Greek orthodoxy. And, like, you're not allowed to get cremated. It's a real big controversy over there. So he donated his skeleton to science. But then when they stopped using real skeletons, just like over here, they stopped using real skeletons in school. Because of the Greek Orthodoxy, they knew who the skeleton was and it needed like appropriate burial. So it went to the cemetery. And I didn't know all this because I was too young, but I guess our cemetery plot is like $100,000. And his parents aren't alive. And my mom was like, I'm not paying for that. So she was paying rent to house his bones in a box in like, they call it a mausoleum, but it's like an office building just filled with wooden boxes with human remains. And if you stop paying your rent there, they dump you into, I don't know, I don't mean disrespect, but it's like a mass grave. It's just like
bone pit,
huge pit of bones. It's underground. So anyways, this was going to happen to him. So I took the baton. I said, let me handle it. So I went through the State Department. I went through you got to go through a funeral director. You got to fill out all these forms. And then the remains can be repatriated. You have to have proof that he died a long time ago. So, they don't want a body with an infectious disease. And these are like skeletal remains. Obviously, he's not going to have an infectious disease. So anyways, it came over here, and it was a unique situation because the funeral home, when remains are repatriated, it's usually like someone who just died like 2 weeks ago or a week ago. And these are old, and they were like set up as, they were whatever you call it, like
they were used for education, prepared. Right?
Yeah, it wasn't in a typical situation.
It was laid out for study.
Illegal to own bones, so they're just like, what do you want to do? Do you want to cremate these? You want to bury them? And I said, I'll just take them home.
Did you get a strange reaction at that? Did anyone question your motives?
They didn't question my motives because we had this similar conversation to this about my history with my uncle, and they understood. And they understood I wasn't looking to like spend a ton more money because just to get them here, it was quite expensive. So, anyways, there's like, I could go on and on about the red tape and all the things you have to file. And it gets really crazy. But you can't do it yourself. You have to do it through a funeral director.
Agents of some kind in the form of a funeral
it's
director.
All crazy, man.
Someone who's certified and licensed to deal in bones.
Yeah, bones. So it's like it is kind of a controversial thing, because if you go online and look up bones, there's not a whole lot of information in Florida. But I talked to the assistant state attorney, and
you talk to them a lot about stuff. I feel like you talk to them about beetles too, beetle fighting.
It's like Publix knows me, the state's attorney knows you. Sorry, we were talking about that earlier.
No, the beetles are not insects. Are actually
not under the purview of the state attorney's office. You told us
that. Not the state attorney. It's the Department of Agriculture.
Oh, nice.
Importing exotic beetles, and because I was inquiring about, this is controversial, but this is a different story. But I was inquiring about starting an insect fighting
league, right? Yeah, the Japanese beetle fighting.
Yeah. But that got no thing, because they thought I was gonna, incorporate gambling, which of course, why would you ever do that in an organized sport, right? So I didn't want any imperial entanglements. Let's just put it that way. So I passed on the beetle fighting ring. So anyway, so I had these remains, and I get inspired by my friends a lot, and I have a friend who works at Dean Guitars. I don't know if he wants to be named, but you probably know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Alistair. Let's call him Lark.
Lark Bodie.
Yeah. He works at Dean, and he's always building guitars, and he's done some avant-garde guitar stuff.
Yeah, he's a great artist.
Yeah, great artist. Interrupt me whenever, man. I'm a rambler. I don't want to take over the whole show.
Oh no, you're here to take over the whole show.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So I hope I'm going in the right direction.
Absolutely.
So, anyways, he's someone that I'm inspired by as an artist and a musician. And I was like, I want to make a guitar. And I actually asked him if he'd help me make it. And at first he said he would. And then he just kept having excuse after excuse after excuse. It was like, I'm like, dude, if you don't want to make it, just tell me. And he's just like, man, he got really kind of freaked out. And like, the excuses got crazier and crazier. I mean, it was like, like I ran into a pack of ninjas and got shot with like a sleeping dart. I mean, not that ridiculous, but so anyways, I'm like, all right, whatever, dude. So I just had an old Telecaster, and I just took it totally apart, and I sanded off Telecaster and painted Skelecaster. Does that show up?
Philip Skelecaster.
Philip Skelecaster.
Yeah.
I do have a question about the name Skelecaster. Where did that originate?
Man, I think Alistair may have responded with that.
I wasn't sure if that was
I
wasn't sure if that was already in the works, but I saw that it was Telecaster hardware, and then I saw the skeleton, and I was like, "Hey!"
And you're like, "I'm a real modern day Leonardo da Vinci, so let me come up with this thing."
This portmanteau.
Yeah. No, I thought it was great. Like someone called it the Skeletar. Yeah. And
whoa.
Yeah. So
Skeletar is pretty good too.
Yeah. There was like a few options. So yeah. Thanks, I guess, for your contributions.
I feel like the raw force of inspiration that guitar provides to the world. Like my contribution was a drop in the bucket. So yeah.
Do they know about your other? Is that appropriate to talk about your other involvements?
What with
in my music?
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
Do they know about that or no?
Maybe a little bit. I mentioned, didn't I mention to you guys that I was potentially playing some music with Prince Midnight?
No, this is the first I'm hearing of it.
Yep.
Well, in the end, as far as like the most recent release that has been in the works, I kind of lazied my way out of it. Prince Midnight works at a feverish pace as far as music is concerned, and he was creating at a pace that I couldn't keep up with, and so I think he had to just kind of leave me behind. But there's no ill will involved.
No, of course not. Because so we had our last meeting, and he our last interview on the show, he mentioned that he played guitar, and so we were going back and forth. He sent me some riffs, I sent him some songs, and I definitely work at a feverish pace, and I usually try to preface with creative partners like, hey, if like, don't be mad at me if like this train keeps rolling, if you're sitting there with your thumb sticking out. So
that was me.
So I'd written all these songs, and so I was like, all right, well, I'll work on other parts besides guitar. So I did all the bass, I did all the vibraphone, got a timpani guy, got a violin guy.
It's got a timpani guy.
And I was totally done. And I'm like, hey, do you have time to like bust these whatever amount of songs it is, 7, 8 songs? And then, a week later, you're like, all right, I got one done. And I'm like, man, I can't, this is going to take 8 weeks. Like, I can't wait that long.
And then I started a new job, and I knew there was just no chance at all.
Yeah. I've quit and got kicked out of more bands than I can count on my fingers and toes. So anyway, so then the guitar, it was almost like a blessing, because there's so much going on in that record that I was like, it doesn't even need really guitar. However, it felt a little empty during some of the grindcore parts, which grindcore typically is just loud, fuzzy guitar.
I was going to say guitars feature heavily in grindcore bands, for the most part.
So I went and just did, basic power chord, tried to play pretty traditional grindcore guitar just over the fast parts really, and the rest, that kind of that frequency is kind of taken over by the violin really. So anyway, so that's me and Alistair's history, and maybe we'll surely do a song or something in the future,
Oh yeah, and the whole thing of telecommuting and telecollaborating is a little bit tough. If we're in a time when we can get in the same room, it would probably go a lot faster too. Yeah,
man, not to harp on like our history, but I mean, I told you how blown away I was by your guitar playing. I'm like, I had no clue this dude could play like this.
That's very, very kind of you to say.
He shreds, man.
He shreds, and we played with Chris, who played drums on the record, who is an incredibly fast, talented grindcore drummer, and he was also like, man, this dude shreds. So
I've known Alistair. I've known Alistair for a long time. He never talks himself up, but yeah, he's
yes,
hell of a musician.
He's really good. Much. Yeah.
Hold on, I'm just stepping away for a second. There's a cat asking to be either let in or out.
Okay.
He can come on the show. Bring him on. Give him a headset.
So how long did it take you to assemble, and is the guitar functional now?
Yeah, it's totally functional. So I started off thinking, so I'm not like, so I'll get a little bit closer. So,
yeah.
I've built some instruments, done some minor stuff, but never done a full-on total from scratch.
Look at the depth of that rib cage.
I know.
I originally thought I would mount the bridge to a vertebrae and then mount the neck to the steel rod coming out of the spine and also to the vertebrae. But when I was drilling into the vertebrae, two of them cracked.
Yeah.
It broke in half.
You can't just put a hole in them. They just crumble.
And not to mention, it smells like worse than burnt hair to drill bones.
Oh.
So then I'm like, okay, so we need an even plane. And so I knew it's really specific because I talked to Lark Brody, our guitar builder friend. And so everything has got to be the same. So on like a traditional Telecaster, I measured the distances from everything. So then my secret is I bought this steel bracket right here. It's a steel bar. And so I mounted the neck to the steel bar and the bridge to the steel bar. And so then they are level. They're, 90 degrees at all the corners. And that is then attached to the skeleton and to the rod in the spine. So that's totally functional. The only weird thing is like it's a little wobbly on the back.
The pelvis.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that there's some benefit. That could probably be like a whammy or something.
Yes,
But-
it could.
Oh wow.
Holy Christ. Hey, by the way, Iago, I don't want it to be lost that when you were waggling the pelvis around, Jared said the hips don't lie.
I love it. Man, and Uncle Phil had a good sense of humor. So some people are like,
He would have loved
would
that
he
one.
like this? Of course he would like it. He would think it was awesome, man. Would you rather be in a box, in a Greek cemetery for 20 years or, out at the, brass mug shredding with a sweet death metal band, Obviously.
Easy choice.
No brainer.
I like that one of them you had to do for 20 years. The other option could just maybe be for a night.
Well, I hope that he's here with me for a long time. I'm never allowed to sell him. So
Yeah, of course.
Well, legally, I'm not. So assistant state attorney told me in Florida, you cannot
Sell remains?
Sell bones he said called it valuable consideration.
Mhm.
So he said you can't sell it, you can't trade it, you can't give it for a favor, none of that. So they worded it that way. So it's legal to donate your body to science. So that's like the only way. So
Or
I'm
possibly
not
like passing
in
it.
litigating.
I was going to say
What's that?
like passing it on as an inheritance. Is that
Yeah.
probably about the only way that you could lose
Man,
possession
even
of it?
that, I don't know. They really seems like they really look down on that, and I really had to go through some great lengths to, make sure that everything I was doing was above board because these laws are so obscure. And he's like, even this guy was like, listen, I got to be honest. The state attorney's office hasn't prosecuted anyone for any of these things ever.
Right.
So, like, your questions are just totally out of the blue.
I
And
think
I'm like,
these are
I'm not trying to
these are like leftover laws from the days when people used to like steal bodies and sell them to medical colleges, I think.
Yeah, I think they probably are, but I'm just being in an excess of caution,
Yeah.
So if they knock on my door, I can be like, yeah, this is all above board,
Well, because you want to make sure of that, because if they did kick down your door and seize the remains and arrest you, whatever it is that's on your arrest record is going to look really weird and hard to explain. So you definitely don't want to be like have trafficking human remains on your rap sheet.
Yeah, that's a bad one.
That's one of the bad ones. There are a few.
Yeah.
So you can't sell it, can't leave it to next of kin, or you have to be buried with it.
Yeah.
Then, like,
yeah.
You know what? Maybe we won't look forward to your death so much.
yeah.
I was just like, yeah, bury with you.
I'm willing to abide by whatever they tell me I got to do with it. So,
And you know what?
Yeah, I don't know what happens. I think you can it's they told me it's legal to own bones. There's no law in Florida about owning bones.
But dealing them.
It's dealing with it's like what, your
Weed.
co-host said. I think it really does come from a time where people would sell bodies to places that harvest the organs and just all sorts of stuff like that. And so that's where the law exists. It never really was meant to, cover
Guitars.
people selling a medical skeleton.
And also, just to go through as many scenarios like this as we can, if you were playing a show or if you were on tour and your tour bus was robbed, or, it happens sometimes, like a guitar gets stolen or something like that. If someone stole this, all of a sudden that becomes a much more serious crime than just stealing a guitar. Anyone think that's interesting?
Yeah.
Yes. trumped up charges.
Yeah, yeah.
Big time. So you have gotten a lot of interest from various publications. What I've seen, Consequence of Sound,
Metal Sucks.
Metal Sucks.
Yeah.
I saw a Huff post, right?
Yeah.
Huffington Post.
Someone contacted me today for a quote about you.
How you feeling with all this attention?
Yeah, how you dealing with this attention?
Yeah, so, I didn't do it for attention the same way I didn't, I don't write my music for attention. It's just kind of how my heart sings, Like, I didn't write the world's first extreme metal vibraphone record because I thought it would be a big hit. I wrote it because that is what I want to say to the world. And
that is who you are.
Yeah.
That's who I am. That's how my creative experience. And of course, I create it and I put it out there and I hope some people will listen to it, but I would do it if no one listened to it. The same way I would have built this guitar if no one would have seen it. I started just posting photos of it on Instagram. I think I had 30 followers or something. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm, screaming from the top of the, whatever. But so and then people started like sharing it, started like snowballing. And then I started getting messages. And I think Metal Sucks was the first place.
I follow you on Instagram and Facebook, and so I saw you building it.
There it goes.
But then I saw it posted in an Ugly Guitars group that I'm a member of on Facebook. Are you still there?
Yeah. Is it not showing me?
Your picture changed. It's like the video went out, so now it's just your your lovely glamour shot in front of your vibraphone. Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Hey.
So yeah, I saw it in a Ugly Guitar group, and it really sparked a lot of comments. And I also saw it in a noise rock group that I'm in Facebook, and then saw all the articles, getting posted.
Yeah, so I think it's great. I actually was surprised, like when it started getting interest, I started looking it up. I'm like, has anyone made a guitar with a skeleton? Like someone had to have done that. Like the Munsters didn't have a, Lurch didn't play a stand-up bass as a skeleton. Like what's
like a dinosaur skeleton?
You went into this assuming it had already been done, right?
Yeah,
you're gonna be in the Guinness Book of World Records.
You what?
As the first
human
skeleton guitar.
Yeah, Skelecaster.
I don't know if that's really that kind of. I've never really read that book.
Well, they're all made up
qualifies.
categories. Yeah, they're all made up. Because no one's done them before.
Anyways, that's where we're at with this bad boy. So I did all the soldering. I purposefully used like red and blue wires because I remember in high school everything had the veins and the arteries and the models. So.
Anatomically correct.
It's an amazing thing you've done.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all very impressed.
I could have
This
had
is
a lot less wire.
insane.
But I instead of like grounding everything to the steel bar, I grounded it back to the thing just so I could just for the extra wires because as an aesthetic kind of aspect.
Yeah, it's a very evocative of the circulatory and nervous system.
Yeah. So, and it really is the nervous system at this point, right? Because just like the nervous system in our body, I plug them into an amp and it runs the low voltage current, and livens them right up.
So, have you,
Amen, brother?
Man, I can't wait until this guitar is played in front of a crowd.
They're gonna eat it up.
Yeah.
No, don't do that.
I mean, don't do. Yeah, that's another weird charge you'll get.
It's really a shame. Yeah, I'm really excited to do live shows. But who knows when they're going to start doing that. I have let's just say I got some unconventional aspects of the performance that people can look forward to.
Right.
You're not just going to be going and seeing, a death metal group at the bar. It's going to be something you'll write home about, hopefully.
Now, is your latest release out and available, or is that still upcoming?
So that release is out on all streaming platforms, and you can buy it on like Bandcamp, I think. But whatever, it's streaming, so don't buy it. I make like a penny off of it, anyways. And if you listen a million times,
What's the name of it, or the project and the album?
It's a self-titled autobiographical story.
Prince Midnight.
It's it's like a concept album. It's a story, so it has it starts with a narration. There's a intermission kind of where or an interlude where he wraps up some aspects of the story, and then it ends, and then there's another one. So I had a voiceover actor do all that work, so that was cool.
Rad.
Really?
Your crew, your personnel is just is amazing.
A timpani guy, a voice actor, skeleton
everything.
man,
Cobra.
John DiMaggio.
It's great.
You got John DiMaggio.
I can't look. I look forward to hearing that.
Oh yeah.
It's cool because right now, everyone, with the coronavirus, a lot of people are locked up. So there's a lot of really creative people that are willing to jump on a project and, get their part back to you in longer than, 2 months.
Called out.
I find that timeline hard to believe, but I'm sure they get back to you, in reasonably short order.
That was a little Raz.
Oh no, I deserve. Oh yeah, what's he got? Was that just like a rim shot after the Raz?
Yeah, that's my first
like, really gets you
Man,
sideways.
I love the vibraphone, and I hope people enjoy the record because I truly fell in love with mallet percussion and the vibraphone, and it just could do so much in heavy metal to add something different, and you can make it sound so. The ambiance it creates is so interesting, and I'm really proud to create the first heavy metal record with vibraphone being the primary instrument. And anyways, hopefully it catches on and I love it. You said you played with a little bit of one, right, Alistair?
Yeah, I mean, I've messed around with them a bit, but I mean, I love that tone. I love the woofiness. Like when you're in the room with one, it's like it makes your whole body shake.
Yeah, they're really incredible, and so I love playing the thing, and I think a lot of people are intimidated by them because they think it's too complicated. It's you see people playing them with 4 mallets. Man, forget about those people. You will never see me with 4 mallets ever.
Is that maybe the equivalent of like when a bass player's like 4 strings only for me? I don't need that 5th string.
Yes.
Yeah, dude,
I like
4 mallets.
I like that you've drawn the line at 4 mallets
masters.
while you have a skeleton guitar around you and a cobra on your vibraphone. You're like, no, 4 mallets
too much.
That's where I call it.
So your limitations when you're a creative person, your limitations often are what make you a unique artist. So I never want to get to like jazz master level on a vibraphone. I mean, I can play all that stuff, but it just is kind of, it's like Yngwie Malmsteen like joining Black Flag. It's like it wouldn't work. That's not the style I want to play. And really, there's not really a vibraphone scene for people who don't play like that. And so if you hear on my record, a lot of it's just single notes and just, if you listen to an old Martin Denny record, he doesn't like solo on the vibraphone the whole time. It's subtle, it's ambiance. It's like,
and then just letting it swell.
Like it'll just be something like that. So, I think people are intimidated when they look at vibraphone player and just these dudes with 4 mouths just shredding on the thing. And
Milt
just
Jackson.
like, that's not like a.
Sorry, I was just mentioning Milt Jackson, a vibraphone virtuoso.
It shouldn't be what you look up to. You should get it and just do what you can with it, and don't be intimidated by these guys showing off with 4 mouths.
A lesson to all you young vibraphonists.
It's hard to find one, man. You gotta. They don't bust them out like they did in 1920.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, and also just very heavy. I mean, it's got a motor attached. It's built into a stand. It's made of metal. What does it weigh? 100 pounds?
You could say it's the most metal instrument.
Oh,
that makes a lot of sense.
There's like 100 pounds of steel right here.
That's the name of your next album.
100 pounds of steel.
Pit of bones.
So people have been saying this is the most metal instrument, and I'm like, no, this is the most metal instrument.
This is the most bony instrument.
Yeah.
Well, Iago, it's tremendous to see you. What have you been up to besides besides your the projects we've just talked about, putting together your guitar and finishing up the album? What have you been up to in your daily life?
I've been kind of starting, honestly, to write some new music, which I want to go to more. I will have still vibraphone, but I would like to do something slightly more guitar-driven, because it's part of the story. So there's a narrative story of my record, and in the middle, there's a transition where it kind of glosses over a great battle that I was involved in with several demons and an angel, and I wanted to elaborate on that portion of the record and kind of blow it up into a short record and have it be super aggressive, super guitar driven. I'm going to use Uncle Phil on that record.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been writing that. I'm trying to think if I've been doing anything else. No.
Right on. That seems like a good endeavor, though. Yeah. Well,
absolutely.
And
solid.
I would
this
say
took a lot of time.
Yeah, I was going to say the amount of work that you've been doing lately. I could understand if you don't have too much else to report besides making this this world-beating guitar.
Yeah, the Telecaster speaks for itself.
It's extraordinary.
Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of music. Try to get inspired. So.
Oh, hey, we did want to ask, because you definitely came up in conversation with the Super Bowl taking place here in Tampa. Well, here in the Tampa Bay area, over across the bay in Tampa. I'm in St. Petersburg. There were at least a party, if not multiple parties, at which the famous DJ Diplo was appearing and performing. And we were wondering if you had any inspiration to maybe try to reconnect, or did you give up on that a long time ago after your incident with Diplo? We discussed it on the last show.
Yeah, so I was friends with Wes Pence, who was DJ Diplo when we were in college, and I dated his roommate, and so we skated a lot, and we got into a altercation, a physical fight, after which we never hung out again. And I'm not a violent person. That's really the only fight I think I can remember ever being in. Maybe just one other at a bar or something.
Knocking out Diplo's tooth with your head, right?
It was a low point. It's not something I want to brag about. It was a time when I was young and I lost my self-control. So, he's super famous now, so it's an interesting story because of that, but it's not something I'm super proud of. So anyways, yeah,
Every time I bring something up with
tried
Yago, he's like, "Hey,
emailing
listen,
him.
you're out of line." Sorry.
Yeah, it's funny because back then skaters only listened to like punk, you know, and he was the first one that I ever. He's like, "Oh, I don't listen to punk. I listen to like De La Soul. I listen to, you know, he loved De La Soul." And I'm like, "Man, you don't listen to like Black Flag? You don't listen to Circle Jerks? You know, Agnostic Front?" He's like, "No, man, I never heard any of that stuff." So, and then his grandpa like owned a bait shop, and so his grandpa bought him
Bait shop.
turntables. And his first show was at the pool at University Club Apartments in Orlando. So, if Behind the Music ever does one on Diplo, they got to go to
Oh.
University Club
Shoot some B-roll.
and go
They're
to
gonna
that
hold you.
pool. You should go there and play. You should go there and play a guest concert. I'm sure it's still open.
Why wouldn't it be? Hey, Yago, aka Prince Midnight, do you want to sit in with us while we get into a little bit of news?
Yeah, man. I don't have anything going on. I'm down for whatever.
Nice. Let's do
Hell
it.
yeah.
This right here, we're about to.
Are we
Oh,
going?
boy.
Do you do it?
It's time for every.
No,
No.
played the wrong
Hold
thing.
on.
Sorry. I'm telling
I
you.
gotta plug my
Yeah,
phone
go.
in.
Okay.
Oh yeah, take
I'll
your
be
time.
appearing again in a second.
Waiting for this thing to end. There we go. All right. So what I intended it was for us to do maybe a little bit of news, and Corin will start us off. How about that?
Oh boy. First, 3D printed ribeye is unveiled. An Israeli company unveiled the first 3D printed ribeye steak on Tuesday using a culture of live animal tissue and what could be a leap forward for lab-grown meat once it receives regulatory approval. During the pandemic, alternate protein products have soared in popularity, promoting nearly every multinational food corporation to hasten to bring its own version of these to market. These are frequently plant-based products, and they've been like patties or processed nuggets like Beyond Burger or things like that. But this is the first one that is using live animal cells and being 3D printed into common meat shapes, like a ribeye.
A McRib. What about a McRib?
Yeah, could they simulate a McRib?
I heard McRib when you said ribeye. I heard McRib, and then it took me 30 seconds to catch up.
Oh no, I think Prince Midnight just had a tumble.
Did somebody?
I'm having a disaster here, man.
He described his tripod as being like a mic stand with like a pop filter that you're using to kind of like wedge it in place.
Dude, do you want me? I wish I should take a picture and text it to you.
I bet it looks awesome. I think I saw it just before the
let
fall.
the snake hold it.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah. Looks
You know,
like a
you've got
sturdy
so
snake.
much musical gear and stuff. You know, like I feel like it wouldn't take a lot to find a little phone holder. Look at that. What is this? The
I
real
had
world?
one,
Look at
but I
that Dutch
broke it.
angle.
You're a little off kilter, but I think
good.
that's
No, no.
I think that's in character.
It suits you.
No. Damn it.
There's this network that the TV in my office is always set to. People will stream music and such to it, but quite often at some point the TV will just cut all the music off and just show this station. None of us in the office have ever thought to change the station, but the station is called Drama Life, and it's all reality TV shows, like going back to the real world. Just anything you can imagine, reality TV, up to brand new ones from countries all over the world. And they were playing some old Real World, and I was like, oh my gosh, like during the little confessional sequences, like 45-degree angles, like the camera is always just like, can't get that camera straight for love or money, just no matter what, it's always at an angle. And yeah, that's what Yago was just evoking in my mind. So you were talking about, live animal culture.
Yeah, they're growing meat and they're printing it.
have they eaten it yet?
I mean, it's been tested by the company, but the U.S. regulatory bodies haven't signed off on it yet. So nobody in the U.S. has been able to eat these things.
Jared, do you want to be the first person to eat a 3D printed ribeye?
No.
Really?
Do you want to be the second?
I want to be the
I want to
millionth.
perfect it.
Yeah.
You don't think round
But I'll
one?
eat the shit out of it once it's out. I mean, I ate some plant-based protein right before the show.
This is not plant-based.
3D printing flesh
Well-
just like conjures images of like the last 20 minutes of Akira, where like the flesh monster like
Out of
goes
control.
crazy, and like I just imagine like we're kind of opening the door to that kind of stuff when we're like 3D printing flesh.
I would have thought if anyone was in favor of a potential unlimited meat supply, it would be
Once
Jared
it starts
and
growing
McLeod.
like Akira, we can just keep eating it.
Yeah, that arm just grows faster than 50 people could eat it.
It's delicious. You never thought about Akira as like a solution to world hunger.
Yago, how do you feel about 3D printed meats?
You know, does it print it down to the cellular level? Like,
Yeah, is it
Like how-
indistinguishable from beef, like from a cow or something? Tell
It
us,
is-
Corin.
It is cellularly like beef, but it is not. It's like uniform. Whereas if it were grown on an animal, like there would be some difference
Fatty
between.
deposits.
Right. Exactly.
So this is just strictly lean meat? Do they 3D print marbling into it?
3D print fat. Oh shit.
Yeah.
I have
Sinew.
not.
I imagine.
It's
Why not?
We can 3D print the most inedible parts of the steak.
Yeah,
This
can
is
you 3D
gristle.
print some gristle for me? Some some bone?
I got taken aback by a quote in the article. It says it's not just proteins; it's a complex emotional product. Someone talking.
I'd like to quote my
talking about
grandfather right now. My grandfather
meat.
always said, "No waste, no taste." So I want some of that waste on the steak. Otherwise, it's got no taste.
I don't even know what that means. No
Like the
waste,
fat.
no taste. Oh,
fat and bone.
It has no waste on it. It's got no taste to it.
But I mean that spells a different problem because that's not waste. That's good stuff.
I had one of those fake chicken. I do a weird thing because I eat one of those.
wait a
fake
second.
chicken
You do a
patties,
weird
you know what I'm
thing?
talking- You know those fake chicken patties?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I like to get those, but then I put a fried egg on it.
That's all right.
Nice.
So I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
That's all right. Yeah,
that's vegetarian. Is there a vegetarian that's not vegan, right?
it's
That's vegetarian.
ovo-lacto.
It's not vegan.
I know.
Ovo-lacto.
I know some vegans who
I don't
are
love,
on
like,
the
killing
edge
a
with
chicken or a
eggs.
cow. Do you guys like have some people seem like they got a love affair with like the idea of eating the animal, and I just don't. I don't really care about that. I just like eating stuff. So
Yeah,
yeah, man, if they 3D print me like a burger, I'll eat it. I don't care.
yeah.
I'm with you.
I think I'm pretty
Yeah.
much on board.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know if I agree with Jared saying I want them to perfect it. Like, I just want them to give it to me. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to
Yeah,
be
I'll
present.
eat it. I like crappy food too, though. It's like an experience, you know. Like I like getting like a hamburger at like the flea market is
Yeah.
Yeah.
a unique experience to me. The same way as getting like one at Burns Steakhouse. Like they don't taste the same, but like they're both to me both like an interesting life experience, you know.
Certainly, one that will last for a while.
At the paintball field where we play, there's a little grill set up, and they sell hamburgers and hot dogs, but they also sell a chicken burger, which is a hamburger with a chicken tender on it.
That's not
Oh,
a bad
hell yeah.
idea.
Together.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
When I was
a
a little kid, I always loved cafeteria food, like the square pizza, the ribecue on bun, like whatever
Mexican
they were
pizza.
serving, I was into it, and I felt like I should act like it wasn't good food, and I hated it. But like in all honesty, like I was totally into pretty much every meal that a school cafeteria had to offer me. Well, that's it. This is my confession. Should I? Wait,
Did
sorry.
you ever
I'm
apply
confessing. To the listener at home, I just put my camera at a real world angle as a joke. Sorry, Corin. So
You ever
That's-
eaten a
that's-
snake?
a snake? No, I
No.
don't think. I don't think I've ever had snake.
I've had snake jerky.
You had that like
I
on
had
the
fried
river,
rattlesnake once.
fried rattlesnake.
How was it?
Yeah.
I bet it's good.
It's pretty good. It's kind of just tasted like a fried catfish or something. The meat kind of tastes like a little like a catfish.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
Snake
had
is
it breaded and fried.
I mean,
I was in
Fried
like
meat's fried
Arizona or something.
Yeah.
hell yeah.
You just.
Yeah, it was flaky. It was like almost like a fish.
I
kinda.
can imagine that texture in a snake. And it's strange. Like you've made me hungry for snake. Like I kind of like want to
I've
eat
heard
a
that
piece of fried
before.
snake.
Snake eater. From him?
Yago's got jokes.
What?
I want some fried rattlesnake or catfish, whatever. I just want some food.
I
Yeah.
love
Just
cat.
hungry.
You know, nothing's better than Lateracita's fried fish.
Oh yeah,
Holy smokes!
I haven't
Not
been
to
there.
give an unpaid endorsement on air. You
I
can
haven't-
block. You can
We-
block me out.
We
during that
started the
moment.
show with a whole advertisement for Publix hacks, so you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jotham was going in depth on like a bunch of what he called Publix hacks, when in truth it was just like mainly just these weird orders to give the deli people like more work to like
More
go
work.
and get different bread from
Ordering
another
off the
section
menu.
and like making the seafood
Oh,
department
I've
boil
done it now.
shrimps for you. What'd you say?
They'll do it. I used to ask them to cut Havarti cheese, and they were like, "God damn it!"
Nice.
They'd have to like go and cut this special cheese.
Well, you know, you can
I've
go.
heard that before.
You can get a like if you're gonna get ultimate sub
Here
from
we
the
go.
deli. You can go there. You can point and be like, I want this type of turkey and like this type of cheese, and they'll get it for you because it's boar's head stuff. You know, they just have like the basic stuff right in front of you, but like you can point and be like, I want that.
And they have to help you or else they get fired.
That's right.
How to make everybody else in line. help you.
That's what I say every time. You have to help me or you're fired.
And I say that. I say that all the time.
You gotta recognize that, you know, can I use foul language or is it a kid's show?
Please.
Feel
I was
free.
like, you gotta know you're an asshole though if you're asking them to cut you special meat and cheese for your sandwich. Like they want to just backhand you in the mouth when you ask for that. There's probably like 20 people in line and you're like, could you cut me 2 slices of the honey teriyaki ham and
Oh, and that's
Yeah.
nothing.
Boil
Jotham
me
was
3
also
shrimp.
saying to go to have them go over to the bakery and cut you slices out of a big round loaf of bread, and they'll do it.
Go to another
I've never heard that
department.
one.
An
The
adjacent
bakery's
department.
it's right next to the deli. They're right next to
It's
each
like it's
other.
not that much more work for them.
No,
It's
it's-
literally next door.
And they know you're a
No.
connoisseur when you ask for this.
So they respect you more. They're like, ooh,
Yeah.
who's that
Yeah.
mysterious jean
Oh, a real
jacketed
foodie
man?
just showed
This
up.
guy's
Yeah.
making me do all kinds of extra work.
How
Have you guys ever
aggressive.
gotten the buck sub? They
No.
hate making the buck sub.
What's
You know
the
what I'm
buck
talking
sub?
about?
No, what is it?
It's like got a bunch of wacky stuff on it, like cranberry and all this stuff. And whenever it's like on the menu, you're like, all the buck sub, and the life is sucked out of the person in front of you because they have to do what he's saying. They gotta like, we're out of like, you know, some ingredient that's just some obscure thing. So they're running around the store trying to find it, and you're just like, you know, well, there's like 20 people like salivating behind you waiting to eat lunch too.
Yeah, the best part is the way that that you get to inconvenience your fellow shoppers while you're playing this power game with the poor beleaguered Publix deli employees. Joe,
That's a hard ass job, man.
yeah, I can imagine. I'd probably cut my hand off the first day I did it.
Jotham
I
walks over
worked
to
at
the counter.
McDonald's is my first job, and that was hard as hell, and you get paid like nothing. It's like you get paid the worst for having the worst jobs.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I think that's a strong argument that's been around for the increase in minimum wage. So the people who would be getting that increase are the people who are doing the most difficult jobs there are.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Corin,
We already talked about me.
That's all your 3D printed news?
That's it.
Do you guys think that podcasters should get a pay increase?
Yeah, man. I'd like to see us doubled pay. Yeah, Jotham, please don't unionize. That's going to bite me in the ass. I'm the manager of this podcast. Oh, great. So that's how it's going to be, huh? The workers versus the management?
Too late.
Like every like 13 minutes, you're like, fuck you, I'm on break. Just smoking while on mute.
Vaping.
Oh, wait, he does that.
Yeah.
He vapes
But
on
I can do it
mute.
in front of
I've
you,
already
though.
joined the union.
Jared, what is in your news? Hopefully he didn't
Scoop
there's no
Jotham.
interference.
Shit.
Sometimes Jotham and Jared come up with the same news. Jared, go.
Microsoft's billionaire founder Bill Gates financially backing the development of sun dimming technology that would potentially reflect sunlight out of Earth's atmosphere, triggering a global cooling effect.
Sick.
The Stratospheric Controlled Perturbation Experiment, abbreviated SCOPEX, launched by Harvard University scientists, aims to examine the solution by spraying non-toxic calcium carbonate dust into the atmosphere, a light-reflecting aerosol that may offset the effects of global warming.
I'm stoked. I love when rich guys go full supervillain.
Yeah.
He's going to pump calcium carbonate into the atmosphere.
To block
Sounds
the
good. Go
sun.
on.
Yes.
I'm instantly reminded of the Animatrix. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or The Simpsons when Mr.
Yeah.
Burns put the big mirror in front of the sun and put shade all over the city. Was going to charge people for sun, I think. Man, it's been a while.
It didn't have as many mech suits as the second Renaissance from the Animatrix. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Animatrix on this one.
Okay, true.
They will take a small step in its early research June this year in the town of Kiruna, Sweden, where the Swedish Space Corporation has agreed to help launch a balloon carrying scientific equipment 12 miles high. It will not release any aerosols. Rather, it will serve as a test to maneuver the balloon and examine communications and operational systems. If successful, this could be a step towards a second experimental stage that will release a small amount of the dust into the atmosphere.
I don't think
people are
they
upset
need to just 1 second. I don't think they need to tell us about every little test that they do to see if they know how to steer a fucking balloon. How about they just tell us once they drop the crystals and they dim the earth?
And it's the Swedes. You pay them, they'll do anything.
It's
Is that known? Sorry.
I mean, they're still holding Nazi
Did not
gold,
know.
right?
Oh, wait, is Swedes or Swiss?
Oh, shit. Here we go.
Oh
I
my
gotta
God.
go. Listen, guys.
somebody's knocking on your door.
I just got canceled.
So I guess like they've determined that the technology like theoretically works, but environmentalists fear that like if the mitigation does work, it'll like make people want to pollute more.
Like it'll give them a
being
license.
offset.
Like,
You're right.
now we're back to where we were. I can go ahead and do what I did and we'll still be ahead of the game.
Right.
Yeah. Yago, what do you think would be the greatest benefit maybe of dimming the sun a little bit and cooling the globe? Personally, for you at least.
I'm a child of the night, I'd say. So,
So that's
if
this is a
that
win.
means more nighttime,
Eternal
lengthen the
darkness.
devil's hour to 2 hours. That's sounds fun to me.
It
The
seems
devil's
like
afternoon.
if they darken it enough, you could maybe even just go by like Prince 7 to 8 p.m. and it'll be just as dark. That's a joke I thought of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could tell from your inflection and not much else. That was from your point of view, by the way, not me.
Yeah. I like darkness, so
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time in caves and stuff. So
Great.
Interesting.
Well,
Well,
sign
there's a
us.
lot of caves in
welcomes-
Florida that you guys probably don't know about.
Is it more like inland and north that you find
I've been meaning
those
to
type
go
of
to
systems?
some
there's
Brooksville caves.
Yeah, I've been there. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
See, the thing is, it's only like a mile
Yeah,
or two
there's-
hike. It's
there's-
just not enough for me.
Sorry, go ahead, Prince Midnight.
Oh yeah, I was just saying. So you guys know, there's like cave complexes all around. They're just not really. You gotta look them up. You know, they're not like all part of like the park system. They're just, you know, where limestone hole opens up and you can crawl in. You know, so I've been going to a lot of those. So those are cool.
My co-host here might remember I've said I'm kind of super drawn to YouTube videos and other documentation of caving just because it scares me so much, the idea of being in a cave so tight that you can barely like expand your chest. It's just terrifying to me and not something I would ever purposely put myself into, but like I'm obsessed with looking at videos of people in tight caves.
Some of those are wild where they have to rappel through really thin areas to get into the I'm with you. I should take you out to some caves, Alistair, because man, there is one that's just like you're saying. It's you know, I had to suck in pretty good, and you know, you slide in between this boulder and this cave, but once you get in, it opens up. But it's kind of what you're talking about. It's you got to take like a little bit of leap of faith.
I feel like one of those caves would be absolutely wonderful to sit outside of while I wait for you to check it out and come back outside. Then I'll drive you back home.
You wouldn't go in?
No, I don't think I could do it. Because being outside of a cave will always beat being inside of a cave. No matter how cool it is, the worst day outside a cave is better than the best day inside of one to me.
Man, this seems just one of those things you have to do. What if it just brings a level of ecstasy that you just can't even imagine?
Yeah.
That's what I'm scared of. That's what I'm scared of. What if I start chasing the dragon? Then I'm like, you know, my partner finds me like wedged under the bookcase. Like, what are you doing? He's like, I just want to feel it again.
You know, the caves have for thousands of years been, you know, a deeply spiritual place for cultures all over the world. So, you know, it's not going too far out on a limb to say that, you know, your emotions about it are primal, you know? So, you know, maybe I'll grease you up and shove you in a hole in the woods, see where you pop in.
You know what? I feel like if I were going to have a caving adventure with anybody, I think it would be Prince Midnight.
It sounds like you don't have much choice about it.
I'm going out here.
Greasing you up and pop you in there.
Grease you up, pop you in.
I got to go back there because I'm shooting a music video for the song Demon Soul Caress on my EP. And so I'm going to shoot a video of these caves. So I think the filmmakers want to go and scout out the location just so... Because they got to bring batteries for the lighting and stuff in the caves because there's obviously no electricity. So I think they wanted to wrap their heads around like the level of darkness and everything in the various spots. So when I go, I'll hit you up, man, and see if you want to come.
Man, that's quite an offer.
He just made you an offer you can't refuse.
That's a Godfather reference. I'll definitely take that under due consideration if that invite comes my way.
You might end up being a guitar.
Oh yeah, don't say that. I might have to be a bass. I've got quite a bit of scale length if you catch my drift.
You could be a baritone.
Yeah, maybe a baritone guitar. You're gonna want to use heavy gauges on my. All right, so Jared, what's in your... Oh my God, where'd Jared go?
Oh no!
Oh, there he is. So,
wait,
dimming the earth. That's where we're at. Yeah, Jotham, it's now your turn. Jotham, what is in your news, buddy?
8-year-old calls out NPR for lack of dinosaur stories. An 8-year-old in Minneapolis recently pointed out a big problem with NPR's oldest news show, All Things Considered. Leo Shidla, one of those two, wrote to his local NPR station, "My name is Leo and I am 8 years old. I listen to All Things Considered in the car with Mom. I listen a lot. I never hear much about nature or dinosaurs or things like that. Maybe you should call your show Newsy Things Considered, since I don't get to hear about all the things. Or please talk about dinosaurs and cool things. Sincerely, Leo.
Man,
So
shade.
they went further and they said Leo has a point. All Things Considered is about to turn 50 years old, and the archivist found the word dinosaur appearing in stories 294 times in the show's history, and by comparison, Senator has appeared 20,447 times.
Yeah. We need more
So,
dinosaur
to,
senators.
Corn
Do
makes
you
a
have
good
an
point.
archivist for this show?
Yeah, I think it's me.
You just,
It's just Alistair's brain.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I think we talked about that. Something about a public sub and being a dickhead. I'll
we said
cross-reference.
public sub on this show 5,250.
Like that's probably
Said
pretty
Senator
accurate.
3 times.
We're not the most informed, but we are well fed.
That's how I like to live.
Well, I think that kid had a point. Was maybe a little bit rude about it. Maybe his parent could have proofread it. Maybe
Sometimes people.
Hey, well, they actually
need
let
that
him
little
let
push,
him
you know?
talk to an archivist after that and let him do an interview. And they talked about dinosaurs.
Yeah, being rude paid off. How do you like that, Alistair?
squeaky wheel.
Gets the dinosaur.
Well,
And sometimes, sometimes just by nature, a comment can be construed as rude. Like, I've been called rude or inconsiderate, but I feel like it's never, when I think of rude, I think of how you say it. But just the act of telling them that they need to have more diverse stories, I don't think that's really rude.
That's assertive.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's assertive. And, yeah, so it's not like
He might get a job at NPR when he's old enough.
maybe dinosaur
Yeah.
Insert
division.
himself into a job.
Yeah.
Well, that's been the news. Guys, we are getting down to the nitty gritty. We're to the part of the show where we discuss our Spotify playlist. I would like to point out, I forgot to even bring it up to Iago / Prince Midnight. So between now and when this episode is uploaded, we can get 6 songs for Prince Midnight's playlist.
You put all my songs last time.
Yep, that's the way. Yep, that's the way it goes. How'd you like that?
Mine are last every other week, so you just
Put that guy's last at least.
put
mine ahead of
this
his.
guy's last at least.
Corin. Name's Corin.
That's
I
It says at
fine.
the
I
bottom of the
don't
screen.
Does it say that? Oh, I know Jothan. Everyone's an in at the end except Alistair, right?
no, there's Jared and Jotham
it's just
and
Jonathan Corin.
and Corin.
Okay, Corin. Yeah.
But I
All right,
mean,
I'm sorry.
no,
It's really okay.
Yeah, there's no reason that you should be remembering all of our names.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I met these guys last time, but I'm like personally friends with you, so I just, I tend to. Of course, I know you.
did you guys know that we were in a band together? Just kidding. So not only did I not tell Prince Midnight, tell him that he should prepare songs, but I also did not prepare songs myself. So we're going to put Prince Midnight's picks right there at the end of the playlist where people will remember them as the last thing they heard. Very important spot. But we're also going to add again. It's the way I say things that makes me rude, not the content of my speech. And we'll also put some of Prince Midnight's music from your recent self-titled release on there. But one thing that I know will be on there is some music from next week's guest, Mongtron, aka Morgan Burgess from the Nervous Girls. She is going to be joining us next week, and she just recently put out a release called 29, mainly instrumental, beat-oriented tracks, and it's good stuff. And so there's some of that's going to be on this week's playlist, but I don't know what else. But after my stuff on the playlist, we'll hear from Jotham. Jotham, what are you putting on this week's playlist?
I did all Wu-Tang and Wu-Tang adjacent tracks. So starts with Wu-Tang Clan, Ain't Nothing to Fuck With. Track 1, side 1, can't go wrong.
36 Chambers.
Protect Your Neck, which is a cover by the L. Michaels Affair, an instrumental. The Fourth Chamber, I'm not going to name all these people. Fourth Chamber, Ice Cream, Biochemical Equation, and Fish.
All Wu-Tang and Wu-Tang adjacent. That's good stuff.
MF Doom's in there. He with the RZA on one of them. Biochemical Equation. It's good stuff.
Nice. He's punk. Do you hear that? Prince Midnight is punctuating your choices. All right. Next up,
All right.
Jared. What's on your playlist this week?
My playlist is
Prince
all-
Midnight.
Yeah, you're gonna throw
It's
some of
all
that on
Prince
there.
Midnight. My picks are all remixes that I believe are superior to their original.
Oh, that's a good
So,
theme.
First we have Climbing Up the Wall, the 07 mix of Climbing Up the Walls by Radiohead, the Justice remix of Electric Feel by MGMT, the Monopoly remix of Weigh Me Down by Lorne, the Fortet remix by Great Day by Mad Millen. I think I've put that on the playlist before, but whatever. The Mike Watt remix of Corn Pone Brunch by Tortoise, and Grinding, the remix of Grinding featuring
Yes.
Baby, Wheezy, and Nore.
Grinding.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And Corin,
Yeah.
what's on your playlist, bud?
I am making a last minute change because I realized I had effed something up. So continuing my Black History Month theme, I went for all Motown artists from like the early days of Motown, Berry Gordy stuff. Starts with The Miracles with Got a Job, Marv Johnson with Come to Me, Marvelettes with Too Many Fish in the Sea, The Supremes with Baby Love, The Temptations with Just My Imagination, and Marvin Gaye with Heard It Through the Grapevine.
When you said yours was based on Black History Month, I said, God damn it. And that was not because I thought that was a bad idea. It was because I thought, oh, I forgot to theme mine on Black History Month. And then I thought, oh, I forgot to theme mine at all. I can still do it.
Yeah.
So
and
I'll forget that
R.I.P.
tomorrow, I guess.
R.I.P. Mary Wilson, founding member of the Supremes, who died yesterday.
Mary Wilson.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Passed
she was
away.
awesome.
So that's my pick. Those my picks.
Iago Annex, aka Prince Midnight. Do you have any idea of what kind of things you might include on your playlist, or do you want to just send that to me wholesale between now and Saturday if you have time?
Last time I sent a lot of like obscure punk music. What should I send this time? I thought you put me last because it was a bunch of stuff no one would like.
Do you want me to
that's
put
why
you? I'll put you first this time. This time you'll be first. First 6 songs on the playlist, Prince Midnight approved. Actually, first songs on the playlist will be by Prince Midnight. After that, all Prince Midnight picks, then ours. How about that?
I like it.
I
like it.
I just talked to my
Great
manager.
negotiating.
He said it's all right.
Does it feel uncomfortable letting go of the power of the opening spot on the playlist?
I mean, if you love something, let it go. Even, the first spot on the playlist.
It's like get on the highway, get about going 80, take your hands off the steering wheel and close your eyes, count to 30.
That's
like
a
that.
long count.
Have
It's
you done that?
a real fight club move.
And I had a friend who would do shit like that.
That's no kind of person to hang around. Oh, yeah. Well,
All right.
do you guys want to Want to wrap it up?
Sure.
Iago, Prince Midnight. Is there anything that you'd like to leave our listeners at home with? Is there anything that we didn't talk about that you wanted to get out to the world at large?
Just listen to heavy metal music and do your best to rock.
All right.
That's all I can say. And I'll send you some songs to check out. Maybe this time I'll go. Last time I did a lot of like Japanese punk stuff. Maybe I'll do some different stuff this time. So
Where can people find you?
I don't really know what I'm going to go with. But when he was talking about Black History Month, my mind started like, I don't want to like copy his style, but I'm a big fan of like really early Delta blues. Like the early stuff from the 19-teens. So,
Hell yeah, put it on there.
Throw it on there.
Dig into some of that. Yeah.
Yeah, mix it up. Give us a diverse blend.
All right. Yeah, Memphis Minnie was always my favorite. She had a song called "Bad Luck Woman." She had she started, I think, in like around 1913 or something. She's great. I mean, probably the first American female guitar player that there's any history of, you know.
And still going strong at 108 years old. Just kidding. Probably not.
No, she's long past, but she certainly left a great legacy. I'm a big fan of Memphis Minnie, and she also sang "Hoodoo Lady." She just sang about because hoodoo and stuff was still and it still is today all around, So
What's
about what she saw.
What's hoodoo?
What?
What's hoodoo?
Oh, hoodoo is like folk magic. So Vodou is like Haitian religion, and then voodoo is when it came over to New Orleans. But hoodoo is kind of more of a loose. It doesn't have like a pantheon. It doesn't have a series of gods like voodoo. It's just more. It's folk magic, like hill magic.
It's like pagan voodoo. Wait, never mind. That doesn't make any sense.
It's stuff like, like you take gopher shit and like throw it under your doorstep and your neighbor will die. It's just like wacky stuff like that.
Man, it sounds like you could accidentally kill a lot of people.
Does that work?
That's really like a real spell. I'll send you. I got a whole bunch of hoodoo spells that I've collected. I can send you.
Yeah, I'd love that.
Please compile a list.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's cool, and there's a lot of parallel with other forms of black magic, but it's unique in and of itself.
Man, I swear, Prince Midnight. I feel like every time Prince Midnight is on or will be on, I always start to go into like some new topic that I'd be happy to talk about for another hour in the last minute of the podcast. But all right, so we're gonna take off. Prince Midnight, thank you very much for joining us. I would direct people to Spotify or any streaming platform that carries most popular music. Search Prince Midnight, that self-titled album. Check it out. You'll hear a little bit of it on our Spotify playlist.
There's a 7-inch at press right now at United Record Press.
Nice.
I'm like, people think that I did the guitar for like promotion. I don't think I've told one person that I got a record at press. So I'm excited. I'll be 300 copies of red vinyl. I'll have those, I don't know, probably in like a month or two. So that'll be fun to have a hard copy. So keep a peek out. I'll probably hit up Microgroove, my favorite record store, and see if he'll sling a couple copies for me.
Absolutely.
Send one to you guys for, I don't know what, you can eat potato chips off it or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, yeah. Definitely set one aside for my purchase. I'd love to get my hands on one of those.
I'll give you a discount.
Well, I don't want a discount. I'm a friend. I pay full price. All right.
All right.
So that was not meant as an insult. For Prince Midnight and for Corin LaPointe Atchison, and Jared McLeod, and Jotham Fady. I'm Alistair St. Hill. Everyone have a fantastic night and a fantastic week, and happy. Goodbye. Oh. That's the end of the show. Bye.
Later.